Do you know what nobody really talks about enough? It is a pressure to figure it out as an immigrant. I'm not talking about surviving, I'm not talking about adapting to the system or the culture here. What I'm talking about is becoming successful quickly. Because the moment you move abroad, it starts feeling like your entire life is beginning to be timed. People back home begin to feel like you have made it, and people right here, they expect you to know everything already. And in the middle of everything, you're just trying to survive, you're trying to breathe. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aduke. Today, I want us to have a honest conversation about the struggles that immigrants go through silently. Because I genuinely think that a lot of us are exhausted, but we are just quiet. We are not talking about these things enough. And when people talk about things like this online, somehow some people find it very interesting to just bash on their experiences. And I find it to be very insensitive of people to do that. One thing that I started to notice immediately I got here was that it kind of feels like life became a race. You're running helter-skelter, you're trying to figure things out, you're always doing something. You cannot just sit down and not do nothing. You feel pressure to adapt. You feel pressure to make money. You feel pressure to send money home. You feel pressure to build your credit. You feel pressure to get a job fast. You feel pressure to get a car, to buy a house, to go back to school, to look successful online, to fix your accent. And somehow you are still expected to stay mentally stable. And you know the scariest part of this whole situation? Nobody is directly pressuring you. You are the one pressuring yourself. Because you gradually start to compare your life timeline to every other person's. Someone moved here and bought a house 2 years ago. Somebody got here 2 months ago and they got a good job. Somebody became an engineer in 8 months. One of your other friends is already making 6 figures. Meanwhile, you're still trying to understand the tax system and to survive winter. And suddenly, you start feeling left behind, even when you're actually doing okay. I also feel like a lot of immigrants carry a hidden guilt, especially those who came from the background that their family sacrificed everything for them to relocate abroad. At the back of your mind, you feel like failure is not an option. You're struggling so much, but you're also not talking about it. You smile during video calls. You post fine pictures online. You say everything is good. But deep down, you're stressed because immigration can do what? Can humble you. You would have been respected back home and suddenly your life feels like you're going to have to start all over again. That exactly is the part that deserves the most honesty online. One thing that I wish immigrants know quickly once they relocate abroad is that everybody is figuring life out. Nobody has the manual. Nobody understands what exactly is going on. Nobody even knows the direction that they are going through, that they are passing through. Especially when you're in Canada where you get here, you don't even know the right pathway for your immigration to become a permanent resident if you decide to stay permanently in Canada. So a lot of people are just trying to figure things out and doing their researches. And you see that person that looks confident, they are also confused. You see people posting their achievements online. They are probably also struggling in one area of their lives privately. Social media can make you feel like everybody is winning abroad except you. But let me tell you, that is actually not the full story. A lot of immigrants are tired. Most of us from the countries we are coming from, we are not used to working 2 jobs. In fact, if you're working a 9 to 5, there is a break. You don't actually necessarily have to work your ass out for you to survive, for you to work more than 1 job before you're able to survive. And that's exactly the reality of majority of immigrants that you see online. People are tired. People are frustrated. People are lonely. It is so lonely that you would hardly find somebody reaching out to you to check up on you here. It is not the same as where we are coming from back home. People back home would rally around you. You would see there is always an event or the other back home. But here, if you're not intentional, it's like a child that is trying to make friends. You know how difficult it can be, especially as a mother, that you're looking at your child trying to make friends, and I don't know how to put it. It's not just straightforward. It's not. You need to deal with a lot of things. You're trying to make friends with people that have allergies. You're trying to make friends with people that don't want to talk to you. You're trying to make friends with people that, in their mind, they say that they are inclusive, but they just don't like the way you speak because of the accent. There are people that they just look at you like this and they are disappointed. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to speak to you because of one thing that is annoying them about you, because you're an immigrant. And before you feel 100% accepted in a new place, in a new country like this, it's going to take time. And you have to be very conscious of the kind of friends, the way you make friends. You have to be intentional about the kind of friendship that you would have to make. It's a lot of work. It's like a job on its own entirely. Building that community, it's a job. It's a real job in itself. A lot of people are anxious. Oh my God. A lot of people are anxious that because they are not making money. A lot of people are exhausted. If you're in a country like Canada, that every second counts. If you miss a deadline about something, it is gone. If you're not able to meet up with your permanent residents, your immigration status issues, it is gone. There is, I don't know, you can't just relax and not do anything here. You have to do something. It's exhausting being an immigrant. And I know that we chose this life, but I feel like people don't really talk about this whole struggle before people make decisions. There's something that we Nigerians used to say, that if you're able to survive in Nigeria, you can survive literally anywhere. That saying is actually true. But then again, nobody really prepares you for the in-depth of the struggles that you have to go through as an immigrant. It's not, there's something Yoruba people used to say in my language. There's something we used to say in my language. Juba. My God, it means that you're hearing the news, right? But when you see the news yourself, when you're there, you were there in person, you would understand the magnitude of what the news is actually talking about. You don't feel it that much because you're not there until you get there, before you know how much work this actually is. And people don't really understand the struggles of immigrants. Immigrants go through so many things, having to abandon families, having to abandon people back home. And you cannot even tell me that, oh, you made the decision. Yes, I did make the decision, but then this is also the struggle. This is also the phase that I'm going through. It's just like a pregnant woman. Yes, you're excited about getting pregnant, but nobody tells you about. They will tell you that it is going to the ghetto, but then when you experience it yourself, that's when you would know that, oh, this is really serious. And that's exactly how the immigration process of an immigrant abroad actually is. But because people are trying to look successful online, nobody really talks about these things again. And that's why I'm talking about it today, because it feels like we are really gradually fading away from the reality of things. But one thing that actually helped me is realizing that building a life actually takes real time. Not TikTok time, not Instagram time, not social media time, real life time. At some point, I stopped expecting myself to have everything figured out immediately. Then I started focusing on my small wins, the little jobs, learning how the system works, paying tax returns back to the CRA, understanding how to navigate the system, making sure I get a job, losing the job, getting another job, your colleagues are not your friends, understanding the fact that people see life in a completely different lens from you. And that's okay, because they are not experiencing life the way you are actually experiencing life. Improving my skills one step at a time. I'm also meeting people. I'm becoming more genuine and intentional about meeting people. Becoming financially smarter is one of the things that I took seriously as when I just got here as well. Taking care of my mental health. Oh my God. At some point this year, I had to see a therapist. And it was, I don't know how to explain the experience, but I can tell you that seeing a therapist is equivalent to talking to your best friend. I would say it like that. Your best friend that will tell you when you're wrong and when you're right. Your best friend that will call you out on your BS when you're doing something you're not supposed to do. Imagine having somebody to talk to all the time and express things, see things from a different perspective and angle that you're not seeing things from. Seeing a therapist this year actually has helped me so much. And I feel like what I've gone through this year alone, it is enough for anybody to want to see a therapist for. And giving myself that grace to grow slowly, to learn, to unlearn things. Honestly, it is one of the things that I find to be really helpful as an immigrant. Because honestly, a lot of immigrants are trying to heal and build at the same time, and that can be very heavy. So if you've been feeling heavy lately, if you've been feeling like everybody is figuring life out except you, if you've been feeling like you're falling behind or you're not catching up with your peers, I just want you to know that you're not alone in that feeling. There are lots, thousands of people that are also struggling and are trying to figure life out at their own pace. And there is nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing is wrong with figuring life out at their own pace. I used to be that person. In fact, I think I still am. There are people that we call late boomers. I am still part of those people that when everybody is doing something, I find it difficult to do it at that time. But when I sit back and do it myself, I do it so well and I become so good at it that when people see me do it that same thing, they'll be like, wow, you're really good at this thing. So please, give yourself some grace. Moving to another country takes a lot of courage, and you're already brave enough for making that decision. Everything takes time. And sometimes growth doesn't look impressive immediately. It is that phase of refining, that phase of learning and unlearning, that phase of gathering knowledge, that phase of building, failing, and building again. Because that growth looks like surviving another month without giving up. If this video resonated with you, please drop your comments in the comment section, drop your like, share this video, and let me know where you're watching this video from so I can give you a shout out in my next video. Again, as an immigrant to immigrant, you're doing so much, you're doing so well, and I am proud of you. Hugs, big hugs, cyber hugs from here. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you in my next video.